Hello, I'm DW40 also George and welcome back to the channel. Today I have James with me
Alright, everyone, how's it going?
and this is James' first time watching Doctor Who properly, isn't it?
Yeah, I started watching it in late, like around October 2019. I've really enjoyed it, to be honest. When I was younger, I knew a bit about it, but I just thought, like, oh, it's a very weird, daft show, and I don't really understand the appeal. But after watching it properly and properly paying attention to it, I've really thoroughly enjoyed it so far, anyway.
So with this series we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about what we didn't like about it, what we did like about it, what we would change, and quite a few things like that. So, what did you think of episode one of series one then?
I thought it was a good introduction to the Doctor, to be honest. I like how you focus on the companion a bit more. I don't know what old Doctor Who was like, focusing on the companion wise, but I like how you look at Rosie's life first, how she works at this shop, how she's a bit fed up, how she isn't really financially secure, and then there's weird things happening with those mannequins, and then the Doctor comes in and saves her, and the whole store blows up, and she's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And then she meets the Doctor again, and they take on that big weird lava alien thing. And that episode was
Yeah,
really,
the that's the nesting consciousness.
yeah, the nesting consciousness. Um, I just thought that villain was a bit weird. I like the what are they called, mannequins moving around
The autonomo.
because they seem quite scary, really. Because I did watch it a bit when I was a kid, and that thing stuck in my mind. And I was like, "Oh bloody hell!" I didn't realise that was the first episode though when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Because
well, I had that when you go to a shop, you look at it and see if it moved.
it's quite it's quite
I used to do.
it's quite scary, really, to be honest. But yeah, decent introduction. It was a bit weird that the Doctor, that the only way to beat that nesting consciousness or whatever it's called, was to chuck that blue stuff in, and the Doctor. It was a bit weird. The Doctor was getting held by those mannequins. Then Rose kicked it in. But overall, decent episode, decent introduction, and it was just a pilot, wasn't it? So pilot for the show. So
Yeah. So episode two now, which was the end of the world. What do you think of that?
was that the was that when they went back in time to those gas creatures?
No, the end of the world was on that spaceship.
Oh, the last human.
Yes. Yeah, consider Cassandra.
Yeah. To be honest, it was Rose's first adventure, wasn't it? To when the sun was going to
Yes.
blow up, and everyone was just waiting around, waiting for the sun to blow up. I liked how the last human was a bit of a pompous, ignorant person. To be honest, all about herself. She thought she was the bee's knees, and it was just decent entertainment. To be honest, I liked how it was robot. They were like robot things at first, weren't they? Going around killing people. Like they were little like crab robot things that scuttered around on the floor, and then. But then you find out it's the last human, and don't they send her slaves back? Don't they like make her slaves go back in time or something, or send them away, and then she shrivels up?
Yes, they do. They send a person away, which is Chip,
Mhm.
and she dries up and explodes.
What did you think of that?
It was a good way to end it. I thought,
Mm.
but it's not the last time we saw of her.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
one thing I really like about it is that it shows people that the Doctor can go absolutely anywhere, just straight away. He can just go anywhere, And the thing is, I like how Eccleston, he really wants to help people, All the Doctors do, to be fair, but he's like, Rose is my responsibility. I can't let her die, She's got a family back home. And doesn't she call her mom in the future as well?
yes, I think she does.
Yeah. I mean, some of it's a bit corny, like the like the inside of the space station that wasn't really designed that well. To be honest, it looked a bit weird. Some of the alien designs are a bit weird.
Well, their budget was very tiny.
I was about to say it is low budget, and it is the first series and the second episode, And The Last Human could have been a little bit better, but overall, I really enjoyed it. To be honest, Eccleston's good. Like he's a good doctor, He acts weird and acts daft, but he does have quite a serious, dark, angry side to him. You can tell like the Time War's really played on his mind, and he just doesn't want too many more people to die, but he knows that people will die. So,
what did you think of him talking about him being the last of the Time Lords?
It just shows that the Time Lords are no more. Really, you told me earlier before we started this review that the Time Lords were in the old Doctor Who. So for them to suddenly just like vanish and die off screen, it's like bloody hell, all the Time Lords are gone now. I mean, for me, it's a good twist, but I can imagine some fans would be quite angry at that.
Yeah, well, they had to do something, didn't they? To make the show different.
Yeah, true. You don't just want the same thing over and over and over again, do you?
No, you don't.
So, yeah.
Well, I think them not bringing them back was a good idea.
Mhm.
It makes it different to what it is now.
Mhm.
So, episode 3 then.
That's the one with the gas ghosts, isn't it?
Yeah, the Unquiet Dead.
Do you want to say what you think first then?
I haven't watched it for quite a while, but what I can remember, it wasn't an okay episode. It wasn't the best, but it was just okay.
Yeah.
So what did you think then?
I liked how the Welsh geezer from the Green Grass was in it. That was quite funny. I like the zombie vibe, how the gas creatures like take over their body, then they look like zombies.
I about to say the cool girl.
The Gelf, yeah.
Yeah.
I like how the Gelf at first, like the Gelf are seen as like the good guys, aren't they? Well, not good, but like you sort of feel sorry for them, and then they lull the people into a full sense of security. Then they go total like devil mode, like they go red and angry, and they try and take over the world for some reason.
Yeah.
Quite weird, to be honest. Good twist though. You think they're good at first, and they're evil. I suppose it would have been boring if they were good. Then they just flew off, and everyone was all right. Charles Dickens being in it was kind of cool, kind of weird. I liked Eccleston's banter with him though. That was quite cool. He's like, Charles Dickens, I can't believe it's you.
Yeah, well, I liked how they built on his character as well.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean,
so, do you want to go on to the next episode
yeah.
then?
Episode 4. Is that the Aliens in London? Or is that the next one?
Episode 4 is Aliens in London, you're right.
Okay, so, at first, honestly, I thought this was going to be the sickest thing ever, because you go from quite laid-back things going on, you go from, like, things happening in the past and the future in the second episode, then the past, then they go back to the present, and then you just see a massive ship crash through Big Ben and, like, land in the sea, and you think, what the hell's going on? What is this? You're so hyped up, and then it's just the Slovene, like, taking out, killing people, and then...
What did you think of Rose being gone for a whole year?
Oh, yeah, that was really... I forgot about that. I honestly forgot about that. That was pretty crazy, to be honest. Yeah. It just shows...
Instead of 12 hours, it was 12 months. Which I thought was a good little twist to it.
Yeah, because her mum was so angry and they all thought Rose was missing, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
So, pretty cool episode. The farting alien stuff was weird. I liked how you actually have, like, humans being the bad guys. Like, you have people who can... Humans imitating aliens,
Yeah.
And
as well, when they did the Big Bang crash, I don't know you knew this, but they put the wing of the ship on a rotor, and the Big Ben was a paper model. So when you see that crash, that was all done by hand and a paper model.
So it wasn't any CG or anything?
No CG. And if you look closely at the clock, the numbers are the wrong way round.
Oh.
Because they had to fit the image because they did it the wrong way.
Yeah, that was quite a cool twist, I guess.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about what you thought of the Serene then?
Yeah, as I say, the farting stuff was a bit childish, a bit daft. You could tell they were really trying hard to appeal to kids. A weakness with a Savine as well. They're not really that threatening, really. They're just sort of like, oh, hello, da-dee-doo-dee-da, fine day we're having. And they just sort of slice people. I suppose if they were real, you'd be scared of them because they're so big and deadly. But,
yeah.
I like how they're not part of some, like, massive group or anything. They're just, like, they're not part of a massive army. It's just that they're a family of aliens.
Yeah, and now they didn't want to take it over the world.
Yeah. Well, what was their goal?
To blow up the planet with nuclear weapons.
Oh yeah.
As nuclear rock.
Yeah. Wasn't it to start a business or something?
Yeah, it was part of their business.
Part of their business plan. Quite weird. But yeah, part 2 seemed a bit better than part 1. More action, more fighting. I liked how the Slovene had a weakness. Wasn't it like some salt or something, or sugar? I don't know.
It's vinegar.
Vinegar, that's it, yeah. Yeah, that was okay, I guess, yeah.
Look, I liked how when they're going through all of Mickey's cupboards.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor says, that you kiss this man. As they're getting out of the pickled eggs and pickled onions out and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was quite funny when they did that.
Fair dues.
So, episode 4, do you want to talk about World War 3?
I thought we were on that already. Oh, bloody hell. Don't you mean episode 5?
Yeah, so we talked about that 2-parter. So, episode 6, one of the best stories in Doctor of all time. Probably near the best.
Yeah.
Dalek.
Mm-hmm. So, what happens in Dalek? They end up at the bottom, like, in this underground facility place. And then the Doctor's looking at some old memorabilia, like Cybermen and old aliens, and then he's like, look at you, reduced to nothing, can't believe it.
It's a space museum, isn't it?
Yeah. But then they get kidnapped by this evil businessman.
I'm just trying to think of his name again.
I can't remember.
I just had it.
That's the only weak part of it, really. He was a bit forgettable.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they go up and the Doctor like sees a Dalek, and honestly, the dynamic between the Christopher Eccleston Doctor and that Dalek is insanely good. You do feel a bit bad if you don't know anything about the Daleks. You do feel a bit bad for him at first because it's just getting tortured and it's like, help me. And then
that's some really good writing I find.
Yeah,
you feel bad for the most dangerous creature in the universe.
Yeah, and then Rose Tyler touches it, and then it just goes on a rampage and murders loads and loads of people. It's a bit like the Terminator, really, because like this one Dalek is so powerful, and you think, bloody hell, there used to be a whole species of these, bloody hell. And then, another thing I like is how the Doctor's like, I'm the last of the Time Lords, and you're the last of the Daleks. With the last ones, we're both alone. I thought that was quite deep.
Yeah, and our Doctor says we are the same.
Yeah.
And you just see a customer's snap at that point, don't you?
Yeah, he electrocutes him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
To be honest, they're not the same at all. I sort of get what the Dalek means. Like the Doctor did basically kill everyone, to win the Time War. But at the same time, it's like, the Doctor actually saves people. The Daleks are just hateful, evil pieces of crap.
Well, if you think about it, they switched roles at the end. The Dalek became more human, Adam Lee Doctor became more like a Dalek. He even said it exterminate while holding a gun at the end.
Yeah.
Where that was a good twist on that, I thought.
Yeah, but I think it's because of everything Eccleston had been through.
Yes, it would have been.
But yeah, I like how they make that one Dalek feel indestructible. It goes through loads of soldiers. It makes everyone just get absolutely wrecked and destroyed. And then, but the way they destroy it is by, Rose Tyler telling it to blow itself up.
Yeah, to kill itself, basically.
Yeah. And you see what a Dalek looks like inside, so, and they're just little aliens. Little weird blob aliens. But yeah, one of the best episodes ever. Amazing.
Now, episode 7.
This is the one with Simon Pegg, isn't it? The Floor 500 rubbish.
The long game, yeah.
Yeah, that was a really weird one, to be honest. Not the biggest fan. Simon Pegg was criminally underused in this, and the Jagra Fest was just kind of boring and weird, really.
Yeah, well, I thought it was quite good.
What? What was good about it, in your opinion, then?
Well, I wouldn't say good, but it was okay.
I thought it was probably the weakest out of all the episodes, in fairness.
It is the weakest. Yeah. What do you think about Adam?
Wasn't he the bloke who got that operation in his brain, and then at the end they're like, good luck with explaining that to everyone? Yeah.
Well, you never see a failed companion, but he was a failed companion.
Well, the Doctor says that's why he never takes along third wheels, usually. That's why Mickey the Idiot can't come.
Yeah.
So, yeah, by the way, I just want to say quickly, Rosie's family, like Mickey and her mom, what's her name? I can't remember Rosie's mom's name.
Jackie.
Jackie Tyler, that's it. They're amazing. I love Rosie's arc, with her family and all that. That's quite cool. Like her character arc about, doing more stuff and getting out there more instead of just working in her shop, the repetitive boringness.
Yeah, well, it was quite good.
Anyway, so do you want to move? What else is there to say about the episode, really?
Nothing really. Being a long game is one of the worst. This is one that you like to talk about, Father's Day.
Yeah, my number one episode. Absolutely love it, to be honest. It's just phenomenal, really. The emotional beats between Rose and her dad, Pete Tyler, is just beautiful. Absolutely phenomenal acting from both of them. I like how, Rose is doing stuff that a lot of other people would want to do. Like if you've lost a loved one or someone who means a lot to you, well, same thing. But if you lose someone, who dies, you sort of want to go back in time and say hello to him, because originally she was like, I don't know what the Doctor expected, really, because originally she was like, oh yeah, I want to, I just want to sit with him when he dies alone, I just don't want him to die alone. And the Doctor was like, okay, fair enough then, because I think the Doctor let her do that because he felt alone, because he's the last of the Time Lords. So he's like, yeah, go for it, comfort him, whatever. And then she goes back in time. And how does she botch it the first time? Isn't she too late?
She pushes him out of the way.
The first time?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the second time she pushed him out of the way.
Oh, well, it might have been. I might have just been getting mixed up.
Because something happened, so they botched it. And then she was like, let's go back one more time. And he's like, you have to be really careful now because there's another two of us. So then she runs past the other Eccleston and Billy Piper and then pushes her father out the way. And then the car that ran him over keeps teleporting all over the place, and those time bacteria things keep killing people, time parasites. And then the Doctor can't
I forget what they're called.
Same here. I can't remember. But they keep opening the TARDIS, and the TARDIS isn't there. It's just a blue box.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, another good thing I like about it is a lot of it just takes place in that church, and everyone's panicking, and everyone's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I also like how Jackie Tyler said to Rose when she was young, "Oh, your father was the best person ever." Blah 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 blah. But then when she sees them both together, they're really really dysfunctional, and they keep having to go at each other. You know.
Yes. I don't hear what you mean. Yeah.
They're always having to go at each other. She accuses Rose of being his bit on the side, and she says, "Oh, you're horrible, blah, 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 blah." And it's like, man, you know, because that usually happens in real life. You know, a lot of people don't want to talk bad about the dead, even if they were a bad person. Obviously, if they were good, then they talk good stuff about them. But if they were bad, they just try and remember the good, really, if it was someone who was close to them.
What did you think of Jackie telling a younger version of Rose about the normal, like Rose, like comforting?
What do you mean?
The Pete Tyler.
I don't know what you mean.
Well, near the end, Jackie's speaking to a younger version of Rose.
Oh yeah. She says, "Oh yeah, that was another amazing moment." Yeah, when she says there was a blonde girl who stayed with him when he died. Yeah, that was great as well. The only weakness, the villains, like the time parasites, are a bit boring. Really, they're just monsters that kill people. Oh, another thing I like, why this is one of my favourites, is because the Doctor actually dies, just as a distraction, just sacrifices himself out of the blue. Pretty amazing, and it's cool how the person who got saved at the start saves the day in the end by reversing what they did at the start, getting ran over by that car.
Yeah.
And it's nice how Rose got to do her original thing she wanted to do, comfort him while he died, so...
Yeah, which was nice.
Just a beautiful, heartbreaking, bittersweet episode, to be honest. Best episode ever, in my opinion, of Doctor Who. Absolutely love it. My number one. Yeah, so...
Yeah, it is good, isn't it?
Yeah, what's the next episode, then? Is it, Empty
That would
Child?
be the Empty Child and the Doctor dances.
Yeah, so this two-part is quite amazing, to be honest. It is quite scary, really. You know, this kid can go about touching people. And, oh yeah, wait, one last thing about Father's Day. I just remembered Rose touching the baby ended up, like, destroying more of time. I like how there was time laws in it as well. Like, they do... It's really hard to write about time travel, but Doctor Who write about it quite well. Anyway, yeah, Empty Child. It's quite good, really, because you think, why the hell are all these kid zombies? This is terrifying. I feel like there's something like... You know, like when you see kids advertising horror film adverts, because kids are like, you know, not seen as like scary usually. It's quite terrifying when they're painted in a scary light, really.
Yeah.
So
this two-part is always one that freaked me out.
Yeah. And him constantly asking, "Are you my mummy? Are you my mummy? Where's my mummy?" It's like, bloody hell, that is terrifying. I don't know what. It's because he doesn't know. That's another Doctor Who monster you sort of feel bad for, a kid trying to find his mum, and if he touches someone, they end up getting them like a mask come out of their mouth, and then they just become a mindless zombie.
What did you think of the transformation, with like the other Doctor?
What do you mean, the other Doctor?
Well, there's that like scientist man, wasn't he?
Yeah, Victor Meldrew, yeah. Yeah, he's in One Foot in the Grave. Yeah, that was quite scary when you saw it for the first time, how they become gas mask zombies.
Yeah.
That was quite freaky, because I did see that when I was a kid. And when I watched it for the first time, I don't know, I was sort of like, do I really want to watch this? Because I watched a Top Gear review when Eccleston was talking about it, and he doesn't tell you the full ending, because what he said is that, yeah, everyone dies in the end, don't they? They all turn out to be dead. So I thought, and I thought what would happen is they defeat them, then they all just die. But actually, either Eccleston was misleading people for the sake of it, or I misread it because I didn't watch the full episode. And from that Top Gear interview, and so I watched the full episode, and I was like, oh, everyone lives, everyone's fine. That's amazing, to be honest. I thought that's brilliant. And the Doctor's happy about it now. You can tell, like, he's used to people dying or someone having their life affected badly. But everyone makes it in the end. Everyone's fine. And he's just so happy about that, so... And obviously, Captain Jack nearly died, but they managed to save him.
Yeah, when moving on to the next story, well, actually no, we got one away from when he actually dies.
Yeah.
Don't we?
Yeah, so... the Slovene return, what's her name? Margaret?
Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
That one's a little bit like the long game, but in some aspects slightly better, because you're like, oh, the Slovene are back, the same character from earlier on in the season, that's cool. Bit of a boring one, really. I like how the Doctor's always one step ahead. I agreed with the Doctor, they should have killed her straight away, don't give her another day to live, because she's just trying to kill the Doctor, so I don't really see the point. She's like an evil person who murdered loads of people.
It was quite funny how she kept trying to kill him.
Yeah, and he was just one step ahead.
Every time he thought it.
Yeah, he was always one step ahead. But it was a bit of a boring one, really, to be honest. I liked how the Slovene Margaret, she spared that one woman who was pregnant. But
yeah.
And you see how she feels bad that her brothers are dead. But, you know, they brought it on themselves, really.
What did you think of them making her an alien again?
Making her reborn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite great. Yeah, that was a pretty good twist, I guess. Does she? I don't know if she ever comes back. Does she ever come back in? Oh. Well, let's hope that she lives a life differently then, I guess. But yeah, overall a bit of a boring one. I liked how practical the episode was.
Sabine does come back, but not in Doctor Who.
Oh, okay. You know, because Mickey's in it as well. I like how they're all together. Mickey, Captain Jack, Rose, Eccleston.
Yeah.
I like how they're all together. Rose and Mickey have a bit of drama, which is quite cool. But yeah, overall, great episode. Great. Well, not great, sorry. A very average episode, sorry.
Yeah, okay. Episode then. So now, the final one, the two-part story with the Daleks.
Yeah,
Bad Wolf and Parson of the Ways.
Yeah, I thought those two were really, really good as well, to be honest. I like how they end up in a reality Big Brother show where everyone dies. And I like how they all end, how they're on the Weakest Link quiz show parody. That's quite good as well.
Yeah.
The Captain Jack scenes are quite funny when he pulls a gun out his arse. That's hilarious. But yeah, you're wondering.
I find it good how it's the same set as
the long game.
As in the of the world. Oh yeah, so the long game. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that was really cool, to be honest. They really did do a good job with that Floor 500. Like, they made it a lot better and a lot more interesting. They expanded it a lot more. And even though, sadly, it was ruined for me because I looked at what happens next time on Doctor Who, and I watched the whole thing and it's the Daleks in the end. But if I just not watched it and then I'd seen the Dalek show up at the end, that would have been quite cool.
Yeah.
I think the episode Dalek really helped this episode be 10 times better because you see how powerful the Dalek is in that episode, and then there's like a million of them in this episode, and you're like, crap, they're all back. I can't believe that, bloody hell. You're like really shocked, you know.
What did you think of the Emperor?
Oh yeah, he was alright, you know. He was a little bit forgettable. He was just like the Super Dalek, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, it was the one who controlled the entire ship.
Oh yeah, okay. He was cool. It was set 100 years after the long game as well, bang on 100 years. But yeah, he was alright. I just like how, you know, they keep trying to kill all the Daleks and the Daleks are just indestructible. And I like how the Doctor sends Rose back as well. He's like, you know, there's no point in you trying to fight this, you know, just let...
Yeah, well, he didn't want to die, did he?
Yeah, he was like, just live a good life, seriously, Rose, you know. Just forget about me, forget about the TARDIS, let it just get destroyed on the street, seriously. Let it get dust and fade away. There's no point. I'm going to die years and years from now. But then she's like, no. How does she reboot the TARDIS to get back to help him?
Well, they use the digger, don't they? Or that lorry
Oh yeah.
to basically try and pull it all open.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. I like how Rose doesn't go down without a fight because her family are like, come on, he's like he's gonna die hundreds of thousands of years from now. Like, don't worry about it, just forget about it. But she's like, I can't just sit around and do nothing. Which you got to respect her character for that.
Yeah.
And then she absorbs the heart of the TARDIS and just destroys all the Daleks. Did you like that fluky ending, or was you a bit annoyed that she just killed them all that easily?
I quite like that. I'll see looks into the heart.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it is the thing that makes the Doctor regenerate.
Yeah, you know, I thought some people were probably annoyed at that twist, but I thought it was half decent. It was a little bit fluky, but what else were they meant to do?
No, I quite liked it.
Yeah. You know, when there's an army of Daleks about to shoot you, what else can you do, really? How would they write something clever in? If they wrote something stupid in, people are getting annoyed, so I think this is an alright... As I say, a little bit fluky, but it's alright. Who cares, really, you know?
Yeah, so one last thing I want to ask you about. Your introduction to Tennant, what did you think of him when he first turned up on screen?
Well, years ago, already knew that he was the best Doctor. Everyone said he was the best Doctor, and he's just like, Christopher... Oh, yeah, no, I just want to say quickly, I love his regeneration line, when he's like, you were absolutely fantastic, Rose, and you know what? So was I, and then he just regens. Yeah. And then Tennant comes in and he's like, right, Barcelona. And then it goes, banana. So, yeah, his introduction was okay, I guess. You know, everyone says he was the best thing, so I just watched season 2 quite quickly and got through that. And, you know, and he's been quite good ever since.
Yeah, and we will be talking about that one on the next episode of this.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest... Tennant's just an amazing, you know, he's an amazing Doctor. But I really like Eccleston. I think season 1 is just near perfection, man, to be honest. It's just phenomenal.
It is, isn't it?
Like, with how consistent it is, you know, if you're a Doctor Who fan, I think it's near perfection. For a big TV film buff like me, I'd say it's pretty good, it's pretty great, it's enjoyable. Quite an easy watch.
Do you think that he should have had a second series?
Obviously, but he didn't want to, and if that didn't happen, we wouldn't have got Tennant, so I'm not too fussed, really.
Yeah, you're right there, actually.
I mean, all the crap episodes in season 2, I don't think... Because there was some weird ones, obviously, like Fear Her, Love and Monsters...
Oh, God, yeah.
And a few others. I don't know if he would have been able to act as well as Tennant acted in those ones.
No, he probably wouldn't have. So, what would your rating overall be for this series?
Well, the way I rate things, I say like a low end, like a decent and okay, 3.5 and okay, 4.5. Like what I say, if it's great, amazing, is high end or whatever, and low end is like a shit 3 stars. So like, say if I said a shit 3 stars, that means like nearly 2.5. You know, so I'd say the first series of Doctor Who is probably an amazing 4 out of 5, really. So like near a high end 4, not quite 4.5. Because the thing is with Doctor Who, it's quite predictable. It's the same for me anyway. No big massive twists are going to happen. You know that they'll be fine in the next episode most of the time. You know it's going to work out. So I can't really give Doctor Who an amazing rating like I would Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad. But it's good, it's enjoyable, it's fun. I like it. You know, I get why people are massive fans. So yeah, an amazing. No, a great 4 out of 5, or did I say amazing? Can't remember. Just a high end 4. You know, nearly 4.5. What's your? I guess your rating's way higher because you're a big fan.
Mine would be a 4 out of 5.
Oh, another 4. Oh, bloody! I thought you'd give it like 4.5, man.
Yeah, 4 out of 5. Yeah.
So
like, I think that takes the 1.5 away from it is probably the long game.
Fair enough.
That's everything that lets it down.
Yeah. But yeah, Rose and Billie Piper and Eccleston bounce off each other really well. I guess a weakness you could say with season 1 is that some of the graphics aren't really that good, and some of it's a bit weird, I guess. But at the end of the day, you know, you just got to sort of get on with it. He bought the
It was 2005 as well.
yeah, and Eccleston brought the Doctor back on the screen and got us interested again. So, yeah, amazing season, near perfection by Doctor Who standards, by my regular film standards, I guess, pretty great, you know.
Great then. So, on the next one, we will be talking about series 2 and David's first season, which you watched series 2 and 3 already now, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, if you're a big Doctor Who fan and you've watched most of Doctor Who, you'll know that he's got series 4 to watch next, and how good that is. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this as much as we have, and we will see you on the next one.
Yep, see ya.